The Premier League is back, and wowzers, what a weekend that was. What a brilliant opening weekend of football that was. Game week 1 is done and dusted. Going to go through every game, look at each team, what they need to do better, what they are doing well. Well, some teams are doing well, some teams I've got question marks all over. So yeah, we're just going to go through one by one each game, give you a little bit of deeper insight on certain games, just because I can't cover every game. Okay? Some games just nothing happens. That's just how it is. And I also didn't watch every game. You know, there's multiple games going on at the same time. I'm not watching them all at the same time. You know what I mean? But anyway, without further ado, let's start off with the big one. Well, not really the big one, but the big opener, should we say. Arsenal versus Coventry. Feel for Coventry, because your first game away from home to the champions is probably worst. It's like the least, if you said, rank every possible fixture from best to worst, it's the bottom of your list. I feel if it's the other way around, they could have caused a little bit of an upset, as you see a lot of the time. And for me, yeah, I'm a firm believer. The first game of the Premier League season should always be the championship winners at home to the league champions. But look, not how it is. It's the wrong way around here. And I mean, yeah, Arsenal are the better team. Arsenal look very good. It's only Coventry. I don't want to go overboard with it. I feel like sometimes whenever a team wins a game, you're full of praise for the team that wins, and then you're full of like negativity towards the team that loses. But I want to be a bit more balanced, right? From an Arsenal point of view, Tzolis, I'm a big fan. I really like him. I mean, he did wonders out in Belgium last year, and from what I've seen, that first goal, I thought he did really nice work. Second goal as well. Yeah, really positive from Arsenal point of view. Obviously, you have to say it's only Coventry, so we're not going to see the full power that Arsenal possess in this game, and it sort of felt like they got 2-0 up, and yeah, they were just comfortable with that. But overall, a good win, a very good win. Of course, it's always good to win your opening game, especially by that many goals, keeping a clean sheet. Coventry is where I want to turn my attention to a little bit, though. I feel they're like very close to being good, but until they sort these certain issues out, they're just going to get annihilated and battered week in, week out. And my main issue is physically. You've got to compete physically. Before you even worry about the technical side of the game, you have to be able to compete physically, and Hull City proves that, as we'll get onto in a minute. But you have to compete physically, and Coventry just weren't doing that. I know Arsenal are a very physical team, maybe against weaker opposition. Coventry can prove that, but I felt they weren't strong enough in the tackle. I thought, and their system was very naive. It sort of felt like they were set up like they were in the Championship still at times. I know they were. I didn't watch loads of them last year in the Championship, but I would say that it sort of didn't feel much different. And I feel you've got to learn. You've got to learn from past teams that have tried to do the same stuff. You can't do it. Look at Burnley and the Vincent Company. They got annihilated. And I see a lot of similarities between them and this Coventry team, especially by the fact that this Coventry team currently, as a squad, is a lot of good Championship players that aren't ready to compete in the Premier League. Whereas to compete in the Premier League, you need to have players that are ready to compete in the Premier League. Even if your whole team isn't, you have to have those few players that are absolutely Premier League quality. And right now, I look at that team, I think Awani is probably the only one that I would go, yeah, he's a Premier League level player. Maybe I need to see more certain players to maybe appreciate how good they are. But for me, that's where my concern would be. And I feel another issue is just they give the ball away so cheaply. I thought, like, for that first goal, Van Enwyk, I think that's how you say his name, he just gave it away so cheaply. There were times where they just boot it along. You've got to do more with the ball when you have it, because you're not going to have it loads. You've got to be more effective with it. They were just cheaply giving the ball away like it was a Championship game where they know they're going to win it back, but you can't do that. You've got to be more precious with the ball because you're not going to have it as much. So for me, Coventry, you've just got to try and adapt to the Premier League. You can stay up. You absolutely can, but you have to make these changes. And I feel like the difference between these changes is simply not even a relegation fight and potentially staying up. Like, you could finish 20th if you don't make the certain changes that are needed. On to the 12:30 now, Hull versus Manchester United. Man United, there is serious problems. I saw Tielemans saying in an interview that Carrick's had them just doing ball work all summer, and you could tell physically a miles off it. Tielemans can't run. I mean, we knew that from his time at Villa. And it makes me question Tielemans signing, because if you want to value Kobbie Mainoo, as Manchester United clearly do, why would you sign Tielemans? I know you're going to have to play multiple games a week, but it just doesn't make really sense to me. I'd rather them get a different profile in midfield if they want them to succeed. I don't want them to, so I wouldn't rather them. I'm glad they've done it. I want them to fail, but I feel if you want to succeed, you need different profiles. Blib will help. Blib will absolutely help with that midfield, but there is definitely a need for physical improvement. There's definitely need to change at Man United. It's going to have to act fast. Hull, brilliant. I mean, yeah, there was nothing in that to suggest that Hull are going to stay up for me. I felt Man United were poor, which more than Hull were good. I thought the set-piece plays from Hull were nice. Although, I'm going to show you the defending from Man United. I just want to highlight this because I just feel it's utterly embarrassing for Premier League level defenders to be doing what is happening in this game. Hull, I don't believe it was a Hull performance that makes you go, wow, they're going to stay up. I think it's more of a Man United performance that makes you go, oh, they're going to be in for a long year. So this here is the first goal, and as you can see here in this first screenshot, this is when McBurney's just had his shot, and the ball is there being saved by Lamens. Now you've got this whole area uncovered. You've got bam, out of the picture, bam, out of the picture, out of the picture, out of the picture. And you've got, look, we're going to get into the car crash if Harry Maguire's defending in a second. But you've got 4 players here, and Dorgu there, who, to be fair, is not, you can't expect, I think that's Dorgu, right? That's Patrick Dorgu, 26. You can't expect him to get into that space. Mazraoui or Mbeumo, one of them has to, and whoever that is there, I'm underlining them now, they have to as well. It's quite simply embarrassing that nobody, in the time that McBurney shoots, bear in mind McBurney shot about half a second before this, no one goes in this space except for the Hull player. Except for Ayanji, I think that's how you say it. That, apart from him, nobody makes the run into that area. That's embarrassing for a Premier League defence. Why are these 3 just... massive question marks. I'm putting you in red, mate. I'm putting a red circle around you. What are you doing? You've got to make a sort of move. And also, this group of 4 there, if one of them even just move into that area, it allows one of Mbeumo, Mazraoui, one of those defenders, to go into that space. And now we're here with the moment Ayanji's hitting the ball into the goal. There's the ball there, you can see on the line from Ayanji's foot. I mean, Harry Maguire, what are you doing? Let's zoom in here. What is he doing? What are you doing, Harry? Come on now. That is just pathetic defending. You're holding him back. You're stopping him from getting there. So forget everything I just said about, is that Mazraoui or Mbeumo? I can't tell. Whoever it is out of Mazraoui and Mbeumo, that's being, of course they can't get there. Cunha and probably should get there, to be fair. If you go and close Cunha, I think you can make that. But the real fault is actually Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is all at fault for this goal. As much as I can say, as I just did about certain players, I mean, all these are over there, not even involved in the goal. It's embarrassing that from Harry Maguire. Why are you holding him back? Let alone blocking, you're holding him back. Harry Maguire is fully at fault for this goal. Like, he's going to run into that space, absolutely, because he's actually switched on defensively and he's going to make the move. But Maguire's held him back for God knows why, and AIG's tapped it in. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. This is an £80 million centre-back. Bear in mind, not 80 million nowadays, 80 million back in what, 2019? 80 million for a defender in 2019, and you're doing that. It's pathetic. The fact he's still in Man United's backline completely sums up the incompetence of that football club. Like, it's stupidly ridiculous defending. We then get to Hull second, right? So the free kick being taken, and let's look at the marking situation. Man for man, okay, everyone's got someone. Sort of leaving him a little bit alone on the back post, but everyone's sort of got it covered. So what happens in the brief second from Raj's kicking the ball to make it go to this? How has Mazraoui allowed that space to become open? You've got to follow your man. He's just been left open. Absolutely left open. They're still not looking at him at the back post. I know he didn't get the ball in the end, but if it did, he would have been wide open and then could have just played it across for him to tap in again. There is no defending at all. Mazraoui's just forgotten his man. Fully focusing on the ball, allowing him to get forward. So both goals were just pure incompetent defending from Manchester United. It's pathetic. Like, look at the level of defending here. How have you allowed that space to happen? Bear in mind, number 17, I believe that's Andre Santos, hasn't even moved to help out either. So these two have just stood there while they've made the runs. And suddenly, you've got Luke Shaw trying to defend 3 Hull City players. It's embarrassing, lads. It's absolutely embarrassing. You're Premier League defenders. This is why you've lost the game. Talk what you want about Man United's failure to create anything. That is pathetic. And Mbeumo had a few chances. If he scores then, you would have been let off the hook a little bit. That is embarrassing defending. And it's why Man United can't challenge. They're nowhere near ready. This squad, especially in defence, is still the same defence they had years ago. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. We then got to Everton Crystal Palace, where I actually felt Crystal Palace were a little bit unlucky. I didn't watch the game. I watched back the highlights. And Crystal Palace, they had a lot of chances. Mateta had a few. Mateta had to score at least one of them. The one where he hit the post. He could have even hit the post twice, maybe. He had to score at least one of them. Dewsbury Hall, great finish, and then Tiena Bay finishes it off. With Palace, there's absolutely positives. There are a lot of positives with that performance. You've got to finish your chances up. It's a simple lesson. If you don't take your chances at Premier League level, you are going to struggle. And I do believe once Europa kicks in, they might struggle. But we're not here to look at that. And from an Everton point of view, it's a good win. It's a really nice, solid win where you're not necessarily a better team, but you still get over the line. That's always important. It's always helpful. They did have moments of momentum where they looked really good. But again, you've just got to try and not allow Crystal Palace to get back in the game, which they did. You know, they have strong momentum and then suddenly Crystal Palace are all over them again. They have really strong, solid momentum. Crystal Palace get a bit of a go and they can't really find a rhythm. Second half especially, I felt, they started the second half with real intensity and prowess and playing well, and then suddenly it all dropped off and it felt a bit more like a Crystal Palace game. But 1.96 XG for Crystal Palace, Everton point of view, is not good. But from a Palace point of view, it's the small positives you can take from losing a game you sort of want to be trying to get at least a point out of. But it's still a long season to go. Palace are going to have defeats like that. I believe they lost this fixture last year. So, not the end of the world for either team. Obviously, it's not ideal. Obviously, better position for Everton than Palace. But I don't think Palace are panic stations yet. But if you don't start to convert those chances, it absolutely will be. Because defensively, it was fragile. And I'm not sure the defenders you've got can sort of compete to the same level that you could when you had Guehi Lacroix. I switched Sunderland, and I agree with Kara with what he said on Monday Night Football yesterday. Absolute arrogance from Sunderland for that second goal. I mean, it's purely ridiculous, and the underlying numbers do suggest that Sunderland are going to struggle this year. They absolutely do. Based on how they performed last year, they were sort of a bit lucky. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm feeling that Ipswich are probably a little bit fortunate this was their opening game, right? I'm not sure if either of these teams are going to have a good year. I think both these teams will be down there. So this, in the long run, could be a massive win for Ipswich. Don't go out to the opening day, it's not that big. This is a potential relegation 6-pointer that Ipswich have won. And it's because of Sunderland's incompetence, really. I mean, I thought that Sunderland were really poor from the highlights. What I saw in the highlights, they had a lot of the ball, but I didn't feel they were great. Off the ball, I thought they were really poor. The way Cisco ripped them apart for that first goal was poor. Defensively, it's a worry. And the fact that this is the opening day before Yurts kicked in would make me suggest Sunderland are going to be in for a long year. Obviously, don't overreact after game week 1. And it's your first home game for Ipswich, so they're always going to be a bit more up for it. But Sunderland, I'm worried for you. Having 62% of the ball and your XG being below 0.7, it's really poor. You know, Ipswich have a 1.8 XG with a lot less of the ball. They created more chances. They just did. They looked better than Sunderland in all departments, really, apart from keeping the ball. Obviously, Sunderland had most of it, but Ipswich will have learned from their last time in the Premier League, and they're going to be better this year. They're going to be better this time round. And I said I think they might stay up, and I've got a feeling they could, because I mean, look, Sunderland would be a very likely team to go down. The other team I think maybe down there we'll speak on later. But yeah, absolutely brilliant win for Ipswich, no denying that. On to Nottingham Forest Leeds United, which is probably the most nothing game of the whole weekend, really. A 1-0 win through a late free kick, and yeah, nothing really happened in this game. It was a bit of a dry game, nothing too extraordinary. Yeah, Leeds, look, good win, definitely. Two teams that will probably be around the mid-table. Both teams will ideally be thinking, maybe we could get Europe, but both teams will also be thinking, oh, if we're not careful, we could be in a relegation fight. So it's a good win for Leeds, but I want to look at the goal, because I thought it was actually really interesting how the wall almost hindered the free kick and the goalkeeper. Here's the free kick being taken by Stack here. Like, you're about to hit the ball, got your wall here, and you got your goalie here. Now, I can't help but feel the wall isn't doing anything in this scenario. He's never going to hit the wall. He's got such a gap between the wall that he's never going to hit it. Absolutely never. So if anything, the wall's just a hindrance and blocking the view of the goalkeeper. Here, the ball's just gone over the head of Morgan Gibbs-White, and now the goalkeeper has to defend all of this space and below it as well. And he has to defend all of that area without seeing the ball till there. So he's got that short distance between seeing the ball until it's past the ball before he can actually make a movement and save the shot. And I just feel if he didn't have that wall there, he could, first of all, the shot isn't going to happen. But if the shot were to happen, the goalie would see it sooner and move across to his right. But he doesn't, because he's expecting a cross. I can't get my words out. He's expecting a cross, but he's caught him off guard with a shot because this wall's just doing nothing. And then he's got this whole space to aim at. And this is as the ball's just gone in the back of the net. So you can see how close. That's an awful drawing trying to show you what I mean. There you go. That's how close he was, because the ball was around this area here. And he was so close to getting it. But it's sort of tucked in a little bit. So if he moves like this to the right, it's absolutely a savable shot. But because of the wall, he doesn't see it till late and he has to react late. The wall has not helped Forest in any way. The wall has benefited Leeds. There is no need for a wall in every free kick. Why have they felt the need for a wall here? I just feel it doesn't help you. It doesn't sort of improve your position in this free kick. In fact, it hinders you. You've got less players in the box to defend, but you've just got two players stood there who are not going to hit the ball. It would be a terrible free kick if the wall got anything on it. You've got to expect that this free kick is going to be going into the box. You just put more players in there and it stops the possibility of being caught out by a shot where you go and you don't see the ball till it's over the head of the two players in the ball. On to Brentford Spurs now, and my God, was this an embarrassing performance from Tottenham. All this talk, I know all the signings didn't play, and I know it was not necessarily your strongest team, and it's still early days and you've still got forwards to come in, but that was a real wake-up call for Tottenham. All this talk over the summer, and yeah, that was an embarrassing performance. I mean, Brentford tore them apart. Brentford are in for another top year. I'm going to say it now. You know, this might sound ridiculous, and you may look at me like I'm an idiot. You're going to look at me like I'm an idiot. You're going to look at me like I couldn't do year one maths in my GCSE years. You're going to look at me like I have mashed potato running out my brains. You're going to look at me like I am an idiot. But when I say Brentford would be my third favourites for the league, you're going to...
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay, I think Brentford are my third favourites for the league. Is that ridiculous to say? I only see Man City and Arsenal having a better chance of Brentford at this league title. Now that's going to sound ridiculous, but let me explain what I mean. And by saying this, it doesn't mean I believe Brentford will finish in the top three. I don't. But I believe if anyone outside of the Big Six is going to do it, it'll be Brentford. And I believe that, more importantly, no one in the Big Six is capable of putting a title challenge. Now, the likelihood is Brentford don't have a title challenge. But I think it's possible. Whereas I look at other teams and I don't feel it's possible. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying it's absolutely possible that they have this sort of incredible Leicester City type of run. It's only Arsenal and Manchester City, I believe, have a better chance of this league title. And I'll get onto why I don't believe Chelsea can in a minute. But when I look at Arsenal and City, I just feel they're solid all over the pitch. Now, I don't believe City get top two. I don't believe Brentford get top whatever. I don't even know why I predicted them. But it doesn't mean that they can't do it. Like, they absolutely can. There's not much stopping them other than the fact that a couple of injuries and also just the fact that you've got to find that consistency and they maybe don't have the world-class players needed. But as a unit, they work with each other so well. So well. Some of their players are top quality. I mean, Sanger. How has Sanger ended up at Brentford? Like, these football clubs, these big football clubs, claim to be serious institutions. Liverpool Football Club. Why have you not bought Sanger? Manchester City spending all that money on Buardi. Sanger was right there for cheap. He's a top player. I said it before the season and I'll say it again. And I look at Brentford and I just believe that, yeah, I can't remember where I predicted them. If I didn't put them in Europe, I'm an idiot. Because they're going to get European football. Look, this might be an overreaction, but I think they're the real deal. I absolutely believe they were the real deal. Now, for Tottenham, still a long way to go. I don't believe Tottenham being bad is as big as it is Brentford being good. I believe Tottenham were bad, but I believe it was more Brentford's quality in this game. Don't get me wrong, there's still absolutely ways that they can improve over at Tottenham. Absolutely. But Brentford look like a serious team to me. And it's the best chance we've had since Leicester of a non-Big Six team winning the league. I'll say it right now. No European football as well. So yeah, it's always possible. I think they've improved from last year. Their team's got better. Just missed out on Europe last year. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of how they do things over there. I don't like Keith Andrews. I said it before. And I'll stand by it. But Keith, you're starting to make me turn. Slowly but surely, I'm turning towards Keith Andrews, and I hate it because I hate set piece coaches, and I I hate that I'm falling into becoming a victim of being delusioned and masterminded, is that the right word, by set piece coaches and by Brentford. But I can't deny what I'm seeing. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful football. I mean, you've got your fullback on the opposite wing for one of the goals. It was just exceptional. Well, Unai, where do we start? 4-0 at half-time. You know what? This is my least favourite genre of football game, though. They go 4-0 up really quickly. And then you get you all excited, like, oh, could we be breaking a record here? Could we have a 9-0? And then just nothing happens in the second half. I hate it. I hate this genre of football game. That Villa squad is thin. It's thin. It's a really poor squad. It's a really bad squad. And I'm tired of this whole PSR excuse, okay? Because the recruitment from Villa has been horrendous. As much as they've lost players and they've had to sell, the players you're bringing in are terrible, lads. They're absolutely terrible. If you give the level of money Aston Villa have to a top club in, like a second tier club in La Liga or in the Bundesliga, I believe they spend it better. I do. I just feel the incompetence from Villa at the transfer market is going to let them down. I feel it's really poor. I mean, Garnacho, are you having me on? Why? It's really poor. And it's why Villa are never going to push on, because their recruitment is so bad. And yeah, I felt this for a few years now. Same with Newcastle even. Like, these just below the big six clubs, they don't recruit well enough. They just don't. They've got to be better in their recruitment and using the money that they get given. But look, it is what it is. And also Premier League proven. Their obsession with Premier League proven when you're these level clubs is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. Go and find a little gem out there. Look at what Brentford and Brighton do. And Brighton, who just slap you up. Wowzers. Fabian Herzler. New hair, new game almost. Yeah, it was great from Brighton. I didn't watch the full game. I was watching the Manchester City game. But from what I've seen, this was exceptional football. Really good. Hinshelwood is a little bit of a demon, you know. We need to keep an eye out for him. He's been rocking around for a few years and no one really pays too much attention to him. But I think he'll be on for a special year. Yeah, really nice from Brighton. And I'm taking the Yao Gomez red card as a win for me, because I said it weren't a good signing already. So I'm just taking that as a win, and yeah, I'm just bang on, aren't I? Yeah, what can I say? You know what I mean? It's just me, innit? Man City 2, Bournemouth 1. Yeah, it's unlucky. It's unlucky for Marco Rose on his first game. It's really unlucky. I thought they were excellent. And one thing I've learned is that Bournemouth are fine. They're absolutely fine. No matter what happens with this management. It's similar to Brentford and Brighton. They've just got a system that works and it just keeps you going. Really nice from Bournemouth. Unlucky. They were unlucky. Man City, I want more. I mean, absolutely their chances. Haaland, how he didn't score is beyond me. But they saved it till the day. Guehi got his redemption after missing the first header. Guardiola with a late winner to rescue and salvage whatever I can. Get out of my FPL. God, don't get me started on that. But yeah, Man City, I want more. I want you to sort of create more. It was a very stale performance. It didn't really give me much hope that you're going to do much. And with Maresca, I almost felt as if he was trying to imitate Pep with the way he dressed and sort of the way he was talking to Cherky after the game on the pitch and all this sort of stuff. Like, he looks like an imposter. Absolutely. He looks like somebody's dressed up as Pep Guardiola for Comic-Con. That is probably his biggest downfall. You know, if he had a full head of hair, would he necessarily be as, what's the word? Disrespected by City? I feel the players don't necessarily have as much respect for him. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I feel like if they had a completely different guy, they would forget about Pep and the hangings over Pep wouldn't be there. But he feels a bit similar. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You want continuity, but you also don't want to fall into the trap of just copy and pasting what you've done, because nobody can replicate what Pep's done. And I don't believe Maresca's anywhere near as good at management as Pep. He's not, is he? And I feel with Maresca, there's more to management than your style of play. And I know he plays similar football, but other sides of his man management, I'm not sure his man management is great. You know, nearly bottled that title with Leicester. Let's not forget that. And he did okay at Chelsea, but I don't think he's out of this world. I don't really believe he deserves this job. But he's in it, and he got off to a winning start, just about. I thought it was a poor performance, to be honest with you. To Liverpool Newcastle now, and don't get me angry, but I'm going to get angry, because that midfield's pathetic. What is the midfield? I mean, the midfield is just an incredibly hard watch. It's been the problem for years. Fabinho left like 4 seasons ago, and we're still dealing with this stupid midfield problem. Get a DM, buy a DM. Before I talk about the stupidity of the two fullbacks, they are two headless chickens. It's dumb and dumber out there. We've got to look at this midfield. I'm going to show you what I mean. This is the second goal. The first goal is just grabbing it, losing the ball and being an idiot. And there's nothing much we can do about that. But we get to this second goal, right? And yet again, it is Gravenberch losing the ball from being an even bigger idiot when he does the shot and then he does that weird little back heel thing for no reason. Now, here's my problem, right? Ball here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What on earth's going on? Why has that happened? The whole problem Liverpool had last year, well, one of the problems Liverpool had last year, was there were too much going forward. There's too much going forward. You don't need both your full-backs to be flying high. You don't need that. So there's a structural issue. Now, here's a problem. Gravenberch. You're number 6. That's the supposed DM in this double pivot alongside Dom Szoboszlai, who, at least he's getting back. You got Florian Wirtz, who is the number 10, and to be fair, well, you want your number 10. I mean, I'm getting the red pen out again. What are you doing? Honestly, we were rubbing him out. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to look at his face anymore. He's a pathetic excuse for a footballer. Get out of my line of vision. Now, then we get this issue, right? So that's when Newcastle pick up the ball. And then when you get here, you have Gravenberch still lazily just walking back, by the way. Frimpong still up here. Bloody hell, man. Get in position. But how has Wissa been allowed to get through Wirtz and Szoboszlai here? Bear in mind, he doesn't go that way. Wissa ends up going that way in that position. It's embarrassing defending from the two of them. As a midfield three, this doesn't work. You got all of them want to be the luxury midfielder, and it is a massive problem for Liverpool. And how that's happened, I don't even know. And then once he somehow got through all that, you two again, just run back. For the love of your life, just don't jog. You're surrounded. Frimpong has to put a foot in. This is the moment Willock picks up the ball. You have to put a foot in. Absolutely. Frimpong has no reason why he hasn't tackled him there. How's Frimpong let that happen? How do you let that happen? It's just embarrassing. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing from all over. I mean, it's so easy to attack Liverpool. It's so easy. At least Kirkhead has got back this time. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Like, there is so many issues. I mean, let's just put this into perspective, right? Because I'm in a fortunate situation that it's not my money that goes towards the Sky Sports. But there's millions of people out there who work hard from a Monday to Friday, put in the graft in, 9 to 5s, all the lot, right? And they pay for Sky Sports. All they want on a Sunday is to enjoy their viewing. That's all they want. They just want to have a nice Sunday watching the footy. Super Sunday. To have a super day. But no, that doesn't happen. Because they're paying whatever it is. I don't know how much it is. It's too much is probably my guess. And you've got Jeremy Frimpong on the pitch. These people are paying their hard-earned money to watch football, and they are left with the unfortunate opportunity to watch Jeremy Frimpong play football. They have to watch Jeremy Frimpong play football. Do you realise how sad that makes me? You know, let's wider picture. 60,000 people are in that ground. There's a couple thousand Liverpool fans who've travelled all that way. And they've had to sit through Jeremy Frimpong for 90 minutes. Like, it's absolutely, it's not right. The league needs to step in. We want value for money. As fans, we're not getting value for money. Because we've got to watch people like him. You imagine if I was in the position of spending my weekly earnings to watch this game and Jeremy Frimpong was on there. Like, there's absolutely a player in there. But where is he? He's gone missing. I can't find him. He attacks like a defender and he defends like an attacker. I don't know what he's supposed to be. What are you? Like, it's so frustrating. So frustrating. And I mean, Xabi Alonso, you must be a wonder coach because you got an unbeaten season out of him. Now, I don't know if we're just seeing a wrong version of him. Maybe he is good. And last year I defended him. I really did. Last year I truly felt he was unlucky at times with injuries. And I even felt in pre-season he was playing well. But people have spent their hard-earned money and they had to watch that for 90 minutes. Those 90 minutes of Jeremy Frimpong on the weekend were horrendous. Horrendous. Absolutely horrific. Now, I don't like to come on here and just slate footballers. I want to give you analysis. I want to break down where it could go wrong, where they could improve. I don't want to just shout at people. But I mean, it's just it's shocking. This Liverpool team is shocking. Like, the personnel and the way it works, it isn't good enough. It simply isn't good enough. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be brutally honest. Brutality, boom, bam. It needs improvement. You know what? Like, they need to just scrap half them up. Like, if we're talking a Liverpool team, you need to make Szoboszlai the permanent right back. Szoboszlai hasn't got the skill traits to be the permanent midfielder. He just hasn't, okay? He goes on too many stupid runs. His pressing isn't good enough. It's simple. You've got to put him at right back. His skill sets suit right back. He's got a good power of the ball, good strong run of the ball. He suits right back. And then you get to the midfield, you need a DM. I mean, Sango was there. Right now, Kamara seems the obvious choice. Whether the club will do that, they won't. The club won't do that. It'll be a long year without one, though, because that midfield isn't going to work. It just isn't. And then you get to the winger solution. Who knows what they're going to do up there? I mean, I know what I would do. And I believe that forward line could be fixed easily. I can believe it'll all be fixed easily if the club just put a bit of money into it. And apologies to Jeremy, if you are watching. But I just can't fathom that level of performance. And I stuck with it. I stuck with it last year. People were slating you off, and I felt, you know what? Maybe there's a player in you. You seem like a lovely lad as well. I hate to do this to you, but I just don't see it. You're not a fullback. I don't know what you are. I don't know, but you're certainly not a right back in this system. Finally, we have the Chelsea Fulham. Well, Chelsea, you're in for your 17-18 Liverpool season. That's what you're in for. A brilliant forward line and a shocking defence. Yeah, I mean, really, really impressive. The front four. Pedro, Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer. I said four then, not what I meant. You know what I meant. They work so well together. Cole Palmer was back on it. Missing the World Cup was probably a good thing for Palmer. And yeah, they were on it. But Fulham. Now, I hate to be a hypocrite because I don't like when they just slag off the team that loses and praise the team that won. But which one was it? Well, I actually believe it was a little bit of both in this scenario. Because with 30 seconds into the game, and look at your back line. Look at your back line. How has it been that easily discombobulated? Another scenario. This is where João Pedro had a shot and just missed. It's too open. There's no one tight. Bassey's got to be tighter to him. Got to be tighter. You've got to get closer to him. It's just lazy, cheap defending for Fulham. They were so exposed it so many times. And I don't believe this is all just Chelsea being good. I don't think that's the case at all. Chelsea were good, but they made it easy for them. And the only reason the scoreline suggests it was close is because of, well, you know who. And I don't want to bring up his name because I feel like every time I speak of Chelsea, his name is in my mouth. He makes me angry. I don't even like Chelsea. He makes me angry. We'll get to it in a minute. But yeah, I mean, look, you've got to get close to Bassey. This is Lacroix. How have we got a 3-on-3 in this situation? How? Lacroix's a centre back. How has this happened? Okay, Lacroix's got the ball here. I don't even know how Fulham have allowed this. Where's the defence? Just where is it? The fact that I've only got 5 Fulham outfield players in shot is not good enough. You know, where are the other 4? Are they all just out there having a nice cup of tea at the halfway line? Then we get here, right? Players have got back. Lacroix's about to play this ball across here. That's not a straight line, but you know what I was trying to do. 1, 2, 3. Even 4 can sort of try and defend this area. I understood why he stayed where he was. He wanted to watch out Palmer. There's also the possibility of that ball there. But 1, 2, 3 in particular. And the ball, look at this. The ball's come through. You've got to get a foot to that. You've got to at least try. You haven't even moved. You've got, like, this can't happen. It can't happen. It's lazy cheap defending that isn't good enough. It's simple. It really isn't good enough. I don't know what to say to it. It's embarrassing, lads. You're a Premier League institution. Do something about that. Do something about it now. That's not good enough defensively at all. This is the third goal. I mean, how on this situation? Why is no one ever back? Do you not have defenders? Do they not do that out in London? Well, Chelsea do it, so why don't you? It's embarrassing, lads. Really, really poor. So Fulham lost that game because of defensive incompetence and Chelsea brilliance. But Chelsea's incompetence of buy a goalkeeper. Buy a goalkeeper now. If Chelsea played that game against a Fulham team that knew how to defend, I don't know if they win it because of that goalkeeper. He's really bad. I hate to say this to you, Robert Sanchez. I don't like you. Okay? You make me angry. I've never met you as a bloke. You might be nice. You might be alright. Went down the pub, I might have a good time. But you make me so angry. Because I don't even like Chelsea, right? I don't. I have no feeling for Chelsea at all. I hate them. But I'm sat here angry because you're so bad. You're horrific. Yeah, it's just how Chelsea haven't bought themselves a goalkeeper is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. You've got a goalkeeper right there who can't catch a ball. And the team's good. Say what you want. Defensively, you can say, okay, maybe not they're there yet. But they certainly will be. Sterling requires good going forward. They're brilliant midfield. Caicedo, one of the best in the world. But that goalkeeper, you can't challenge without a good goalkeeper. And that's why I say it's more likely Brentford win the league than Chelsea. Because you can't challenge without a goalkeeper. You can't name a good title-winning team that doesn't have a goalkeeper. You can have weaknesses as a title-winning team, absolutely, but you can't have weakness at goalkeeper. Anyway, hope you have all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share, comment. That's game week 1 for you. Yeah, we're going to try and do this every week because, you know. So we'll get ready for 37 more of these incredible breakdowns. Hopefully I won't be as angry. Davinson Sanchez, I swear down. Davinson Sanchez, Jeremy Frimpong, you are in. When should we send them? We need to set out a place where we send anyone that does any wrongdoings. Okay? We need to set out, like, the imprisonment of B Goose. We need B Goose prison. Okay? For now, you're getting temporary hold in B Goose prison, and by game week 2, I'll have you a place for you to all go and live. But right now, you're in the cell. You're getting locked up. You're being fed scraps. You're getting fed dead rats for lunch. All that sort of stuff. You are locked up behind bars. Jeremy Frimpong and Davinson Sanchez, you've been sent to B Goose prison. And once I've figured out where I'm going to send all my prisoners, you're just going to stay in that wrong cell. It's going to be disgusting for you. You're going to be crying for some help. You might have to drink each other's piss if it gets so bad. Because we're not supplying you with anything. That's the situation you're in. Maybe you should do a bit better. So I'm going to send you two off to prison, and I'm going to give out Star of the Week to, I like the Pedro, thought he was nice, but I'm going to give it to Star of the Week. Who should make Star of the Week? Sanger, bang on. Sanger is my Star of the Week. Well done, lad. And yeah, I'll see you all. Sanger is a reward for Star of the Week, actually. We need to give you a reward. You can get a nice bouquet of flowers if you want. Maybe some bumblebees, as you are now in Brentford. Yeah, maybe will that do you? I'll even buy you a chocolate brownie if you want, lad. I'm sure it'll taste great. It won't be one of those from Holland, though. Not those ones. Not the ones with drugs in them. You are a Premier League footballer. I don't want you getting banned. So yeah, you're my Star of the Week, Sanger. Frimpong and Sanchez off to B Goose prison for now. I'll see you on a bit. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and yeah, have a good one.